Hi, today we're going to talk about how you can become more effective with AI. And no, this is not one of those annoying videos where I'm going to show you a new tool and you're going to try it and then you're going to forget it a week after. I want to make a series of videos where you can get actual benefit from following these steps. There will be tweaks here and there that you can do better and programs that you can install, but it will be how to get much more effective. So a little bit about me. I used to be an executive at Facebook, and then I worked together with companies such as Google and Snapchat and TikTok. And now I focus on AI and helping companies to become more effective using AI without going into really complex technical solutions that will probably stop you from implementing them. So today, my commitment to you is that we'll look at email management. So reading and replying to emails. And this is not just about saving time and doing it quicker. It's actually about getting better replies and understanding your emails better. So you not only save time, but that you also produce more value. And actually almost 1/3 of a week is actually used looking at your inbox and writing and responding to people. So I thought this would be a good and a simple place to start to get a lot more out of your working week. So today I have 3 examples. So one would be an employee writing to you with a request for a holiday, and you want to give a thoughtful response, not spending too much time on it. The second is from an imaginary boss sending a report to you. And this is kind of the email from hell, because what she is saying is, so here's a report. Please don't spend too much time on it, but do see if it's something that's interesting for you and whether we should amend our strategies. So you're kind of stuck between deep diving into the report and not really looking at it at all. But of course, you do need to pay attention if you want to please your boss. The third email is from an imaginary customer that we sold a CRM system, and he is now asking some questions about the system, and we want to get back to him in a polite way. So what you need here is ChatGPT as the only tool. And what you do need to install is the ChatGPT app for your desktop. And this is important. I mean, if you go to the App Store, for example, there will be a ton of different apps called ChatGPT. So you want to go to the OpenAI website, and I have the link down in the description. So please use that one. Also, if you do like this type of content, and if I can bring value to you by this video, do give it a like and subscribe. Thank you for that. Anyway, so do install the app version of ChatGPT. It will make you more effective than just using the browser version. So invest that 15 minutes of your time in doing that. Otherwise, you can continue with the browser version, but it would be a little bit more limited. So the first email what we got was from the employee called Amy. And it is a long email we have from her. We do have an idea of what it's about. She is requesting holiday in September, which is not something we are thrilled about. But it is a very long email. So it would take at least a few minutes just to read. But a quicker way would simply be to paste it into ChatGPT here. And then after we paste it, we push this button up. So right now, we actually don't want ChatGPT to do anything about it, really. Since we're looking for quality in our replies, we're not just going to send this automated reply. What we do want to do is to hear a little bit about what Amy actually wants. So we'll go over to the voice mode here of ChatGPT, where we can talk to ChatGPT. Hi, ChatGPT. I just sent you an email from Amy. Could you, in 10 seconds, tell me what the email is about?
Sure. Amy is requesting to move her vacation from August to September due to a recent breakup and personal challenges. She explains how September aligns better emotionally, practically, and professionally, and she's willing to ensure minimal disruption to work.
Okay, so now we'll just go off the voice mode so it doesn't interrupt our conversation here. Okay, so maybe this was enough information. On the other hand, maybe we want to ask some further questions so we really understand the situation and maybe how she suggests that this would not interrupt work. So let's go back into the voice mode. Hi, ChatGPT. Could you give me a little bit of more insight? Does Amy tell how this would not disrupt work in September?
Yes, Amy explains that moving her vacation to September would actually cause less disruption to the team's workflow. August is a busy month with key initiatives requiring her input. So staying in August would allow her to support the team during critical periods. Additionally, she's prepared to provide a detailed handover and ensure all deliverables are on track before her vacation. She even offers to check it during her trip if needed, although she hopes to fully disconnect.
Thank you. What is the main reason that she prefers to have her holiday in September and not August?
The main reason Amy prefers September is emotional. Her original August trip was planned with her ex-boyfriend, and sticking to that itinerary now feels emotionally exhausting. September offers her a fresh start, allowing her to create new memories with her best friend Claire, who is only available during that month. It also aligns better with her mental well-being and need for a restorative break.
Okay, so in this situation, let's say that Amy is actually putting us in a little bit of a tough spot here. Because let's say that August is actually not busy at all, and she's not needed in the office, and she's really needed in September as this one of the most busy months at all, right? But we are happy with Amy as an employee, and we do want to show her in our response to her that we really do care, right? But we cannot allow her to move the whole of her vacation from August. So normally, right, being really busy, maybe I would have written a too short email. So we'll try to up the quality here. Let's add ChatGPT to support us. Okay, so help me write a response to Amy. So it's very important that you also write back a quite lengthy email showing that we do care. But try to outline the following points: that we are aware of her emotional situation, we do sympathize a lot with it, we do want to help, and we would love to strike some form of compromise. But do emphasize that September is an extremely difficult month.
Thank you for your thoughtful and heartfelt email. I appreciate the time and care you've taken to provide such detailed context around your request. It's clear how much this change means to you. And I want to start by acknowledging how challenging the past few weeks must have been. Going through a breakup, especially one after such a meaningful relationship, is never easy. And I admire your openness in sharing your situation.
Okay, so let's not listen to the whole email, but ChatGPT has now written a nice long email. So instead of the whole thing being read aloud, let's just say that we do want a few changes. I'll just go back into voice mode. Okay, could you please add that we should discuss this a bit further on our one-to-one to find the best solution for both parties? So please send me the final email draft.
Dear Amy, thank you for your thoughtful and heartfelt email.
Okay, so now that ChatGPT has written this email, we would, of course, under normal circumstances, just listen to it, and we could actually do other work at the same time because ChatGPT would read it aloud and it would not take a lot of processing, copy, paste it, and send it. And this way, I actually think we will have an email that with a lot more understanding and passion than I would have otherwise written. So let's go into the second example. So this example is our boss, Hannah. She's sending us an email because we work with marketing, and she has received the Nielsen marketing report from another colleague who has said, this report looks really interesting, but Hannah herself does not have the time to read it. So she's written an email to us saying, hey, could you just have a look? Don't spend a lot of time on this report, but it would be great, just to have a sense of if there's something we need to react on or something that we should know. So what we'll do here with ChatGPT is we will simply attach this report in our conversation here with ChatGPT. So we go to upload a file, and it's in our downloads here, and we just attach it, and we give it a minute to upload. And so ChatGPT will now digest the report, it might automatically give out a summary, right? But again, this is about quality. So we need to understand what's going on. We don't want to spend let's say 2-3 hours reading the whole 30-40 page report from Nielsen. But we do want to be prepared and give a meaningful answer to our boss. So what we'll do is we will go back into voice mode and we'll ask for a quick summary. The reason we are doing this in voice mode is so that we can work at the same time. Hi, ChatGPT. Could you please give me a 1-minute summary of the Nielsen report that I just sent to you?
Sure. The 2024 Nielsen Annual Marketing Report focuses on how global marketers are navigating a fragmented media landscape to maximize ROI. Key insights include optimism about increased ad spending, particularly in digital channels like social media and search, which dominate budgets due to their perceived effectiveness. However, there's a growing gap between short-term performance marketing and long-term brand-building goals, with many marketers leaning too heavily on digital at the expense of holistic returns. Despite high confidence in ROI measurement tools, only 38% evaluate both traditional and digital media together, highlighting a mismatch between insights and execution. The report emphasizes a balanced, cross-media strategy and ongoing measurement as critical for achieving sustainable, full-funnel ROI.
Thank you. Does the report mention what the problem with focusing too much on short-term conversion campaigns versus not enough focus on branding campaigns could mean for business results in the long term?
Yes, the report highlights that focusing too much on short-term conversion campaigns, such as promotions and retargeting, can harm long-term business results. While these tactics are attractive for quick sales and easy measurement, they fail to attract new customers and risk eroding brand equity over time. Without sufficient investment in brand-building campaigns, businesses may experience a decline in future revenue, as maintaining visibility and consumer trust is crucial for long-term growth. Nielsen's research indicates that brand-building efforts.
Okay, let's stop ChatGPT there. So let's say in this hypothetical situation that we have actually been advocating that we should focus more on branding and not only on short-term conversion campaigns. Perhaps this would be a good time to resurface that idea with our boss. So now what we can do is we can ask ChatGPT to give the short summary that it just told us about, and then re-emphasize that maybe we should have a meeting about our branding strategy. So we could do it like this. Hi, ChatGPT. Could you just write a nice, short and concise email to Hannah that we've now read the report and quickly just summarize the points you mentioned in the report? And then also mention that earlier this year, I talked about my concern that we focus too much on short-term conversion campaigns and too little on branding, and tell what the report says about that and the challenges with that, and suggest whether we should have a quick meeting discussing adjustments to our marketing strategy. Could you write that email for me?
Subject: follow-up on Nielsen report and marketing strategy. Hi, Hannah. I hope you're doing well. I've just finished reviewing the 2024 Nielsen Annual Marketing Report, and a few points stood out that align with our discussions earlier this year. The report highlights that marketers are increasingly optimistic, with budgets shifting heavily toward digital channels like social media and search due to their perceived effectiveness. However, it also warns of the risks of focusing too much on short-term conversion campaigns at the expense of long-term brand building. Over-reliance on quick wins can erode brand equity, miss new customer acquisition opportunities, and lead to declines in future revenue. As you might recall, I raised concerns earlier this year about our own balance between performance marketing and branding efforts. Nielsen's findings reinforce the importance of a more holistic, full-funnel approach to ensure sustainable growth. Would it make sense to schedule a quick meeting to discuss whether we should adjust our strategy and...
Okay, so this all sounds fine, so I would just go back to text mode, copy this response, and email Hannah back. So again, here we got a quite effective analysis of a report. We got our own opinions in there and suggested an action to our boss, Hannah. Normally, this would have taken a lot more time. So let's move on to the third and final email we are going through. So this is a custom email. We apparently sold a CRM system to a person called Steve, and he has written a long email about some questions and some complaints. Let's now get to that email here from Steve. Again, we'll just copy the email, so we could do like the Command A, Command C, and copy it into ChatGPT. And we send it. And what we'll now do again is just as before, we will go back into the voice mode to find out what's going on here. So again, if we're really quick, ChatGPT actually suggests an answer, but we want to be sure that we are using our own expertise, right? Because the important thing is here, we are using AI to extend our own capabilities, right? We're not just trying to waste time, we're trying to do something better. And it's of course very important that Steve is happy. So ChatGPT, I just sent you an email from a customer named Steve. Could you just within 1 minute explain to me what that email is about and potentially suggest how we could answer Steve?
Steve's email provides detailed feedback on the work at People Planner CRM, expressing frustration over its limitations. While he appreciates its simplicity and onboarding process, he finds the system too basic for his needs as an experienced CRM user. He highlights specific issues, such as difficulty with importing client data, limited custom fields, inadequate task management features, basic reporting tools, and problematic calendar integration with Google Calendar. Steve is concerned that the system doesn't cater to power users and feels it's impacting his workflow and team's perception of him as a tech-savvy leader. How to respond? Acknowledge his frustrations and thank him for his detailed feedback. Emphasize that his insights are valuable for improving the product. Address each concern briefly, providing workarounds or next steps where possible, and share plans for future updates. Offer to schedule a call to discuss his needs further, and explore how to optimize the system for him in the meantime.
Okay, thank you. That sounds good, but I do need a few changes. I don't think Steve mentions anything about what computer is using the system on, what version of the system he is using. Is that correct?
That's correct. Steve doesn't mention anything about the computer he's using or the version of the system. He focuses primarily on the functionality and limitations of the CRM itself without specifying his setup. If this information could help troubleshoot or address his concerns, you might want to ask for these details in your response.
Exactly. Please grab the response where you ask for all these details and, as suggested, write a kind email acknowledging his problems and also mentioning that we are aware that he's a very experienced user. That said, explain that this CRM system is actually very advanced. You just need to know how to use it. So we would suggest setting up half an hour call with a technician going through all his challenges and ask whether that would sound like a good solution for him. Can you draft that email? Keep it relatively short and to the point, yet acknowledging the most important points in his own email.
Subject 3, feedback and frustrations. About work and People Planner. Dear Steve, thank you for taking the time to share such detailed feedback about your experience with Work and People Planner. We truly valued your perspective, especially given your extensive experience with CRM systems. It's clear you've put a lot of thought into testing the system, and we appreciate your candid input. We understand your frustrations with issues like the data import process, limitations on custom fields, task management, and reporting tools. While we aim to strike a balance between simplicity and functionality, it's important to highlight that the system does have advanced capabilities that may not be immediately apparent. With the right setup and guidance, we're confident it can meet your needs as a power user. To help address these challenges, we'd like to suggest a 30-minute call with one of our technicians. They can walk you through optimizing the system, troubleshooting any issues, like the calendar integration, and exploring features or workarounds you might not have discovered yet. Before the call, could you share a bit more about your setup? Specifically, the computer or device you're using the system on, e.g. PC, Mac. The version of the system you're currently using. Any specific workflows or examples that have caused issues, e.g. the file format used during import. Let us know if this approach works for you, and we'll arrange the call at a time that's convenient.
Okay, so again, this email sounds just fine, and we can copy and paste it and send it to Steve. Now, again, as I mentioned, it's possible to further automate these tasks, for example, by installing Chrome extensions and in that way having your system work together with Gmail or using Copilot on Microsoft. So this is not the most advanced way of increasing your efficiency with email management, but I think it's a very effective way to start. And I think this will save you a lot of time on your emails. Maybe you don't want to select all emails because some are really short. And if you know the person well, maybe you can just answer with yes or no. But for longer emails, I think this can save you a lot of time. And I think this is something that will impress people higher up, that will impress executives if you work together with them. In later videos, I will explore how we can actually build some reports. For example, like how would we build a suggestion using ChatGPT, for example, for the brand marketing, as we explored earlier. But I think for this time, this is a solid example of how you can improve your emailing and how you can make it much more effective so you can save maybe half the time you spent on reading and writing emails. I hope this was useful. If you liked the video, please remember to like it and to subscribe. Thank you.